Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Divine Dojo. This is your reading for the week of June 23rd through the 29th. I'm going to be clearing the energy, and then I'm going to be going through the transits that are happening this week, and then we'll get into the tarot. All right, so let's get started. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes if you want. If not, no worries. And release your breath. Deep breath in. And release. Last one. Thank you, God. All right, so let's get into it. So this week, I'm doing this reading on Monday, the 23rd. You'll probably won't get this until way late tonight or tomorrow, but we're still in the energy of the sun squaring Neptune. So we want to not make decisions from an emotionally charged place, especially after, you know, all the stuff that happened this weekend and all the rhetoric that's going around with super negative energies, right? So we don't want to fall into the trap of, you know, that social media and media trying to bring us down into a negative vibe. I'm not saying don't be aware. I'm just saying don't fall for it. The 24th, Tuesdays, the sun is conjunct Jupiter, meaning sun and Jupiter are both in Cancer. So that creates a Kazemi, and your TikTok and, you know, your astrologers out there will be calling it like the luckiest day of the year. And I'm not negating that. It can be. I'm just saying that, you know, keep in mind of the other energies that are still playing out there. And then we still have like the yods of Mars and Pluto going on. So there's other stuff going on, right? So it can be, if you have been doing the work and, you know, putting good energy out there. So on Wednesday, we have the new moon in Cancer, which is great. It's expanded. I mean, it's exalted in Jupiter. So that is asking us to step up into our lives, and especially being in Cancer, about putting intentions into our home, our family life, our security, our values, our closest relationships, you know, things like that, you know, setting intentions into those areas of our life. And then also you want to look into what house Jupiter and Cancer is transiting in your natal chart, and that will, like mine is in the 7th house. So it's about relationships for me and family. So yeah, and then the 26th, Thursday, Mercury enters Leo, making our communication a little bit more bold, a little bit more heartfelt, more confident, more authentic, and being courageous with, you know, what we have to say. I'll come down in a minute. And then on the 27th, we have Mercury opposing Pluto. So Mercury's in Leo, and then Pluto is in Aquarius. So that creates an opposition. So these, you know, these bold and confident, yes, I'm coming down in a minute. We'll create, you know, yes, we'll create some intense conversations probably, and then maybe some secrets and revelations will happen when you have these courageous and bold conversations and communications. So, you know, just be aware of that. Those are really the major aspects that are happening. And then, yeah, that's it for the week. So let's see what Spirit wants to say. Spirit, I invite you in to have me be a clear and concise communicator and give me a clear and concise message for the Aquarian collective for their best and highest good. Thank you. The healer. I love that. So yeah, I think a lot of, even though you're not a water sign, I think being in Cancer season, I think a lot of healers are going to be coming out of the woodwork. You know, people that aren't known or anything like that. And you don't need to be known or have a platform and following to be a healer. I think more and more as the energies start shifting and people start realizing how bad we've been duped into like that 9-to-5 type of game and lifestyle, you know, working for the man and just giving our money away, our hard-earned money away to what? For they can drop bombs on people? No, thank you. I mean, most of the money is not even used for that. It's paid to, it's used. Most of our money is not even used for that. It's made for the debt that the governments of the world owe to, you know, the Fed, the printers of money. Anyhow, I don't want to get into too much of that because I don't want to get banned, but that's where we're at. So more and more, I think healers are going to come out. So I'm going to read that at the end and see how this all relates. All right, spirits. So what do we got going on for Aquarius? What messages do you want to give Aquarius for the week of June 23rd to the 29th? I've been interrupted so much on my readings today. It's not even funny. But you know what? We're going to keep it because that's life, right? We don't need perfection. So yeah, so maybe you have been in conflict, you know, in competition, and maybe having some rivalry, maybe some disagreements, maybe some tension with all the stuff that has been going on. And this week, you definitely want to stay clear of that. And if you are in conflict, try and see things from other people's perspective. It doesn't mean that you need to agree, but you can agree to disagree, right? You don't need to be in conflict with anybody. As long as you know you and you know your truth and you know who you are and what you stand for, who cares? You know, let people have their fucking opinions and they can differ from yours and that's okay, right? Because you are the kind of the rebel, the revolutionary, right? And you there is an opportunity for new ideas, new creative endeavors, new passions coming through. And maybe once you get a little bit more clarity, then you won't even need to be in conflict with anybody else or yourself. You know, sometimes we are in conflict with ourselves on decisions or projects or things that we need to make, right? So yeah, because you have the Ace of Pentacles, but it is reversed. So there is some sort of new financial opportunity, but it's not going to be coming your way, or maybe you miss the opportunity. You know, you don't want to miss it because you're in conflict with either yourself or other people, right? Or maybe you have lost an opportunity in the past and you know, you want to reinvest in something. So let's see. Yeah, you need to like kind of stay. What is this about? Here, what's going on here? All right, let's take them. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, you got the Queen of Swords reverse. You got the Eight of Pentacles reverse. You got the King of Pentacles reverse. You got the Eight of Swords upright. You got the Eight of Cups upright. So you have 3 eights thus far. Excuse me. Well, I'm like itching myself. And then you have the Queen of Cups reverse, and then the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, so you need to put your energy in the correct things, you know, so you can get into this 10 of Pentacles situation, because you do have an opportunity and good ideas, you know, and potential creative projects, but your mindset is, you know, somewhere else for sure, because you have you know, the Queen of Swords reverse and the 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords in the upright. So yeah, maybe something you have been in your head about, and that you need to, you know, because that Queen is kind of bitchy, cold-hearted, tends to be cold-hearted and cruel and bitter, right? And you don't want to be in that energy. Or maybe you're dealing with somebody that you've been in conflict who is in that energy and is blocking you from getting this new financial opportunity, or is not letting you invest into this new creative idea. So because it looks like you have been trying to put in the hard work, but maybe you've been blocked in some way, or you know, you have no motivation because of either your energy being in that, like, in your head too much, or the other person that might be like blocking you. So there's that. And maybe you've been lacking motivation to work on this because of that energy, or your energy. And then you have the King of Pentacles reversed, a lot of pentacle energy. So this is definitely about work related stuff, right? So yeah, I mean, and maybe you have lost an opportunity in the past, and now you don't want to, you know, you don't want that to happen again. You don't want to miss an opportunity because either you or somebody else is blocking your way because of a mindset or a greediness. You know, maybe that Queen of Swords is trying to take your pentacles, or like every last pentacle. I don't know. It's gonna be different for everybody. So yeah, but you know, it's kind of like either you're self-imposing yourself, you know, you're self-imprisoning yourself over this, or you know, your mind or the guilt trip or whatever from the other person is making you think that you are stuck, and making you think that you're trapped, right? Or making you feel that way, because you have the 8 of Cups and then the Queen of Cups too. So yeah, so maybe you're feeling like you're stuck and like drifting and not knowing what next move to make or what to invest in, but you have to get clear on what you want to invest in, because you do have a new idea, new creative endeavors that you want to get into, but you somehow, either you are blocking yourself or somebody else is blocking you from this. So you need to focus on yourself and your self-love and your independence, and stop this codependent energy, or this other person having a say in what you need to do, if there is another person involved in your pentacle situation. What is this about? Why is the Ace of Pentacles reverse? Judgment reverse. And then anxiety. Yeah, 9 of Swords. A lot of Swords energy, a lot of mental shit. So yeah, so maybe the person and or you have been criticizing yourself, and you're punishing yourself maybe from not doing what you really want to do, or you're stopping yourself, or they are stopping you from not doing what you really want to do because of guilt or shame, or, you know, of self-doubt or something. Yeah, because this is all like mental anxiety, mental energy, worry, fear, depression, you know, and that needs to be taken care of. Really, this week with this new moon in Cancer, try to set an intention to change that energy. Well, I'm not going to take it. Why is the Queen of Swords here? Yeah, this Queen of Swords doesn't want to collaborate, doesn't want to be in a celebratory state. Why is this Three of Cups here? Justice, because something is not right. Because something is not right. There needs to be fairness in a situation, whatever this is, whether it's you judging yourself or someone else, you know, judging you or telling you what to do, you know, and blocking your energy, or keeping space in your mental, you know, there's something has to be cleared and balanced and needs to be fair. So why is the Eight of Pentacles here? Because of the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's been delays. There's been delays in this opportunity, or this new idea, or this new project coming in. So it's making you frustrated because it's been holding off. And the Hierophant was in my head. I asked, why is the Hierophant here? Why is the King of Pentacles here? And then the Hierophant showed up. Yeah, it's because of your beliefs or the other person's belief that are blocking you. You know, maybe you are Aquarius, you are unconventional, you know, and you can be different and unorthodox in your ways, and that's okay. But as long as it's all fair and just and good, then, you know. Why is the Queen of Cups and Eight of Cups here? The World. Yeah, there's a chapter ending with this energy. Or if it's not ending, it needs to end. It needs to, this energy needs to be completed. And hopefully this week you can get that change. Because, yeah, it looks like you definitely want to celebrate and, you know, and want to be in community and have fun. But, you know, there's a blocking there, whether it's you with your guilt or shame or whatever, or that Queen of Swords is like blocking you. What is the Ten of Pentacles here? Yeah, you're carrying the burden of all this mental energy, this guilt. I feel like it's guilt, this worry, this anxiety is like keeping you back from doing what it is you want. But there is a change. What is the advice? Keep working. Seven of Pentacles. Keep working. Do not lose faith. You know, you have a long-term vision. Keep working at it. You have the perseverance. You have the energy. And then an Ace of Cups will come in. But it is reversed. So you want to, and then the Four of Swords here. So you want to not be exhausted. You don't want to be emotionally like drained or mentally drained, because there's the stress of all of this is not gonna get you what you need. Because I asked, why was the Ten of Pentacles here? Or I mean, what is the advice? You need to not stress. You need to not be in your head. And you need to figure out how to get this energy, this mental energy out of your system. I'm going to ask from a different deck. What is the advice? What is the advice? What is the advice? Yeah. It's the Five of Cups. The advice is not to block your energy by just looking at what has been, and look at and all you have to do is turn around and look at these 2 cups that are full, right? That are not spilled, that there's still hope, that there's still opportunity, that there's still things that you can do, but you got to let this go and like move on from it this week. Hopefully that new moon will help you. I've been liking this Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. What other advice do you have for Aquarius? Thank you. The Medicine Wheel. Yeah. Interesting how you have the Healer and the Medicine Wheel. It's time to heal from all of this shame, anxiety, depression, guilt that has been going on, whether you have been guilting yourself or the other person has been putting guilt on you. It's time to heal. And maybe you do need to go do some ayahuasca or something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't recommend that for just anybody. But who knows? Maybe you do need to seek a shaman and a healer, Let me... What is the final message within the next few months? Yeah, this needs to end, within the next few months so you can move on. What else? There's something better. Capricorn got this too. Yeah, there's something better out there. So, you don't need to be stuck in this. Improving health. And yeah, maybe, maybe this is what that healing is about. I don't see too much of health here, but, maybe this will help too with that Medicine Wheel and the healing. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Let's read the Healer and then we'll call it a day because I'm being called for dinner. I can't even believe it. Hi, Mommy. My dog is here. XXV. What is it? The Healer. It says, the light worker, the gifted, the old soul. Though some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone. Absolutely. It is our natural inclination to remember, to return to and reclaim the central and eternal life force from which we easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that already exists. The healer approaches this in multiple ways, from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros. Right? So healing is like, basically in this fucking world that we live in right now, it just never ends, right? But it seems like you guys, the Aquarian collective definitely needs some sort of healing and maybe some counseling, to deal with all of this. Because there's a lot of anxiety, shame, guilt, mental energy that needs to be dealt with here. So let me pull you an angel number card and then because you have opportunity, but it's being blocked. there you have, you know, you can move forward, but it's being blocked either by you or some sort of other energy that is in the energy of guilt, shame, you know, anger. So it says 12-12, persistence. It says a wonderful opportunity aligned with your life's purpose is approaching. When it arises, take immediate action and embrace it. Additionally, a loving partnership or an epic romance may be on the horizon. Maintain your persistence and welcome the positive transformation coming your way. Yeah, you do have positive things coming your way, and a chapter is closing, and there is cause for celebration. But after you let go of all this mental energy and guilt and shame and anxiety, you know, from whatever has gone on here in the past. So that's what I have for you this week. Aquarius, I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please comment, like, and share, and I love you.